RIU Santa Fe, Cabo San Lucas, the #1 most popular all-inclusive in the entire area, more popular than Secrets and Garza Blanca combined. Now, it may not have the luxury or refinement that those places have, but with popularity comes likability. So this place must be extremely awesome, right? This is RIU Santa Fe, Cabo. This hotel is remodeled freshly. I think maybe going on possibly 5 months. The hotel is crisp. I'll talk about that throughout the video. In terms of the room, it's got that new RIU motif. It's nice and bright in here. It has the lighter earthy tones with the woods, the modern fixtures and amenities. Shower has floor-to-ceiling glass, dual vanity. Usually at lower end RIUs, I guess that's what this is. It's just an entry-level one. The beds are brutal. This one is not. And the balcony is, I guess, adequate. RIU balconies are never anything that are going to be mind-shattering. But this one in particular is top floor. I got a corner unit, and they upgraded me to a pool view and an ocean view, and that's because I am now RIU Gold. And let me tell you, when you become RIU Gold, things change dramatically. When I went to check-in, I was met by management, and they thanked me for my business. Welcome drink, which I don't always get at a RIU. In fact, I feel I'm passed over almost all the time. Welcome drink in my hand. And then when I got into my room, there was a bottle of champagne waiting for me with a written note. And most importantly, I did not need to track down the minibar guy and float him money out of my pocket just to load up the refrigerator. It came fully stocked, overflowing stocked. So I can only attribute all of that to becoming RIU Gold. So I'm diving right into the video. We are headed to dinner tonight, and I'm taking you to a place that usually you would not expect, but recently I've been loving them, and that's why I'm going there tonight. This hotel is egregiously affordable, like RIU Bamboo price. And if you saw my RIU Bamboo video and the buffet there and the food there, and then you contrast that with what you saw at the buffet last night, they're not even in the same galaxy. The buffet last night, considering it's a RIU, I have to put that preface out there, and considering the price, I'm gonna say it was awesome. It was gigantic. I loved the tall ceilings. It was nicely lit, great lines of sight, extremely spacious, a cornucopia of stations. If I had to eat there every single day for breakfast and for dinner, I'd have no problem with it. And I'd be able to find something that I liked and also something different every single day. The entertainment is interesting. I actually really like that southwestern courtyard kind of epicenter area. I like the 2 pillars that mark the entrances. They kind of act as bookends. They're really tall. You can't miss them. I love the illuminated string lights. The waterfall in the middle is a perfect epicenter. That's where the band sets up. The band does not set up on stage. They set up in the middle. And I think that's great because no matter where you are in that courtyard, you have great access not only to the acoustics, but to the view. You're not way back off into yonder if they're up on stage. So I actually at first thought it was a little awkward, and then actually really liked it. So my room is right up there, top floor, corner room. And the views from up there do not do its justice. Now, it's only 4 floors up, but down here, it's much more beautiful. In fact, first impressions, I already like it better than the pools over at RIU Palace. So a very similar setup, but one that I at least initially like better than what's over at the Palace. I can smell some food. I can already taste the drinks. The sun is out. Let's get to it. Not a lot of creativity when it comes to the RIU pools. I've talked about this a lot. That is the identical pool setup as the adult pool over at RIU Palace, Cabo San Lucas. However, way better. It's all about the vibe. Now, I'm told there is another adults pool. There are 3 here, but another one in this area on the other side of the main pool. It's getting a little late into the afternoon, so I think I'm going to check that out now. I'm told it has more energy, more people, more action, more fun. However, today could be a caveat. I'll explain later. I don't know if it's the crowd, the music, the drinks, the bartenders, all of the above. That was way better. If you would have told me that the adults pool at Santa Fe would be better than the one over at Palace, I would have laughed or not believed you. Fact. All right, and just like that, pool day is over. Hard to believe there is still another 50% of pools remaining. That was only half. There's a whole nother pool complex right when you walk in to the property. And I guess there's an adult pool over there as well. So I'm looking forward to checking that out tomorrow. The main pool was basically a smaller, but I think better version of what I encountered over at RIU Palace, Cabo. It was more functional. The ingress and egress in and out of the pool was much easier. You know, it wasn't a monster where walking around it took 5 minutes. Probably just the most authentically, organically fun regular pool day I've had during this trip here at RIU Santa Fe. Who would have guessed? So I'm off to dinner, and let's just do it. Let's do the best restaurant here. I'm off to Culinarium. A lot to do today. I have to get to the other pools, which also seem massive. And then I think there's like a lunchtime buffet or restaurant I want to check out. But before I do that, I must talk about Culinarium. The progress that Culinarium and RIU has made in their food over the past 3 years. If you walked into a Culinarium at like RIU Republica or just any non-Palace 3 years ago, you would have walked out immediately. The food was atrocious. The food last night, for a RIU and just overall, decent. Overly decent. All right, we got problems. We have DEFCON, is it DEFCON 1 or DEFCON 5? Doesn't matter. DEFCON problems. I went to the pools. I thought there were 2 areas of pools. The ones where I was at yesterday, and then the main pools by the lobby. I was told the pizza place was at the pools, at the main pool. Well, it turns out there are 3 pool areas here, and this one is on the other side of the RIU Party Zone. I thought the property ended at the RIU Party Zone. By the way, my first room, when I stayed here for the first time, 1 of 3, right there. No relaxation, no productivity, no nothing. It's one of the reasons I had to come back and do this hotel again. Anyway, I thought it stopped here. There's a whole nother area back behind it. More buildings, a water park, kids park. That's where the pizza place is. This property is seemingly never ending. It was already the largest RIU I've ever seen. After witnessing this area, it is just exponentially amplified. It's almost inconceivable. Okay, back in the room very quickly to freshen up, gather myself. This is building number 7. The first building I stayed in was number 8, right by the RIU Party, and then the second time I was here, I was in 6. 6 is definitely awesome. I did find some incredible pizza. Yeah, I said it. Incredible pizza for a RIU. I can't believe how good it was. And then the water parks were adult forward. They had 4 different kinds, 4 different slides. They varied in intensity. And then they had something I've never witnessed before. It was like a turbine, like a cyclone slide. It closes at 5. I really want to go back and take the GoPro through it, but honestly, I just don't think it's going to happen. I ran out of time. I'm actually digging this pool setup. Different than the pool setup by the beach. I'm always a fan of not only multiple pool setups, but differing pool setups. This one certainly has a different style, different feel. I like it. And first impression, I like it better than the original one. Lots of aquatic space here, but one pool that is isolated, and it's the only pool that matters. I believe that this is the adult pool. Awesome crowd, great music. Location is fantastic. Right next to the entrance of RIU Santa Fe. You have all the other pools and water surrounding it. Easy ebb and flow back and forth. Again, crowd outgoing, warm, friendly. Bartenders are awesome. I'm doing the whole dollar per color thing. Every color they put in my drink, I give them $1. It's worked out well so far. I probably got one more left in me, and then it's time to bolt. I'm losing a little bit of sunlight. I need to get on to this evening, whatever this evening is going to be. So just an FYI, RIU Palace Cabo is right here. So I just take these steps down when I was here to get to the RIU Party. This property is so large that there is a secondary lobby. That's right, a secondary lobby. This is a rarity. I've encountered it a few times. I think Barcelo has one. There's been a few others, but that's what a monstrosity this place is. 2 lobbies. When I did come back from downtown, I walked through the courtyard and it was movie night. And typically, I would be disappointed in that activity or entertainment, but it's actually a brilliant contrast because it is the complete opposite of the RIU Party. If you want the madness, the bedlam, the insanity, the chaos, you can go to the RIU Party. But if you're in the opposite spectrum, you can just chill and watch a movie in that gorgeous courtyard underneath the moonlight, the string lights. You got the fountains. There's a lot of ambiance. It was very quiet and peaceful. Just walking through there was really a treat. So I'm going to head back down there right now. It's 11:50. The bar is officially closed down there at midnight. Maybe I can catch a nightcap. We'll see what it's like. But most importantly, I must find the discotheque. I've been meaning to find it this entire time. And I feel this stay, this trip, this Cabo experience would be incomplete if I did not locate it and have some fun there, at least for an hour or two, to finish my last night here in Cabo. All right, the never-ending Cabo trip is ending, and it needs to. Believe me, it needs to, especially after last night. That club was insane for a Wednesday. That's a Wednesday, and the electricity in there, the energy, the vibe, the excitement, just the overall feeling of everyone having utter, ecstatic enjoyment. It was palpable. Everyone was in there just having a phenomenal time. I've been to a lot of clubs at RIU properties. Not all are built the same. This one was nice. It was polished for a RIU club. I liked the lighting. I liked the decor. A proper DJ. Great set. Awesome music. He got the crowd going crazy. He was able to sync the lighting with the music, which I always like. There was smoke in there, which added a little bit of aesthetic. I think I got there at 12:30. and the place was building in momentum. And that's after everyone came from the RIU party, which ended at 11. So people went to the RIU party, and then they went to the disco and they partied into the night, which is a perfect setup if you want to get down and have a lot of fun in Cabo. So before I tell you why RIU Santa Fe is the #1 most popular resort throughout the entirety of Cabo, I'm going to get the negatives out of the way. The first one is the beach. Now, I will spare you the beach diatribe. I've gone on at length about Cabo beaches. It's basically Garden of Eden. The water is look, but don't touch. #2, the property is enormous. It is the largest RIU in terms of acreage that I've ever been to. It makes RIU Bamboo look like a boutique hotel. And finally, the third drawback would be the layout. It's really kind of two, maybe even 2.5 properties in one. There are great building locations, there are average building locations, and there are terrible building locations. Make sure you get in the right one. When people find out that you really can't get in the water at the overwhelming majority of Cabo properties, usually that's met with major disappointment. It's a deal breaker for some. In terms of size and layout, that's not so bad. So what about the positives? Why is it so insanely popular? Even more popular than the Palace properties next door. First one is LPF, location, price, and fun. No surprise at a RIU property, its location right across from Cabo Bay is arguably the best in Cabo, maybe even one of the best in Mexico. And when it comes to price, it is the cheapest all-inclusive in Cabo. And that always draws a ton of attention. For the Cabo RIUs specifically, and maybe for the RIU brand overall, I think the parties could be the most famous and attractive thing about the brand. But RIU Santa Fe is much more than a party hotel. It is a family property, and there are a lot of wholesome things to do. There are nonstop activities, and basically there's just an abundance of warm, positive vibes that the RIU brand is renowned for. I could probably stop right there. I think that's enough to justify its #1 spot in terms of popularity, but there is a little bit more that I want to add. #2 is that RIU Santa Fe is the staple property on campus. There are 3 properties, RIU Santa Fe and then the 2 Palace properties that bookend it, but RIU Santa Fe is the core property. It's the only property of the 3 that actually has a theme and a vibe. And that theme and vibe not only pays homage to the local history and culture, but adds a bit of warmth and grandeur to the property. The RIU Party Zone, the sports bar, the discotheque, it's all on site at RIU Santa Fe. Now, of course, if you stay at the Palace properties, you do get access to RIU Santa Fe, its venues, its amenities, but the extra convenience of staying at the principal property and being in the heart of the action is not to be overlooked. It's very noteworthy. And on the topic of noteworthy, I think this last one is very important. The remodel has revitalized this property. The renovation took this property from forgettable to formidable, and it's no longer lowest on the totem pole among the 3 properties on site. More on that in a different video. So with all that being said, I'm rating RIU Santa Fe a 3.5. Its special and unique vibe is almost palpable. You feel it the second you step foot on property. Of course, the Palace properties next door are going to offer some additional amenities and are probably more luxurious. And in terms of #1 overall luxury, RIU Santa Fe doesn't even come close to Garza Blanca. But popularity isn't defined by luxury, it's defined by appeal. And RIU Santa Fe has a very special blend of value, theme, and location. Those 3 things coalesce into a very unusual and really unparalleled product. A product no other hotel could offer if they tried. And it's the product that creates the experience and the experience that creates the attraction. It's that special formulation that makes RIU Santa Fe the #1 most popular all-inclusive resort in Cabo. I never expected to like RIU Santa Fe more than RIU Palace Cabo San Lucas, but that's why you always expect the unexpected. That's why you get out there and travel. You never know what you're going to encounter. I'll talk more about the contrast of those properties in a different video. I just want to sign off and say thank you so much for watching. Every click, every second, every like, every comment, anytime you hit a button and interact, it really means the world to me. Helps out the video and the channel a ton. So thank you when you do that. For those of you that want to see the director's cut of this video, it's on my Patreon. I edit my videos a lot. They're cut down for time purposes. If you want to see all the extra scenes, extra shots, all the stuff I took out of this video, detailed analyses, deeper dives, more insights, check out that director's cut on my Patreon. Also, new website dropping very soon. I'm gonna have some special merch up there for a limited time. Also a few special things as well. So be on the lookout for that. I'm signing off. I'll see you in the next video.